Very good. Okay, I wanted just to give you a little bit of background on what a BBB is, because I think it's important for everybody to understand the structure and how we operate so that you can best utilize the programs and services. So there are 98 Better Business Bureaus throughout North America. So they cover Canada, the United States, and also in Mexico. Each of the Better Business Bureaus is a 501c6 organization, which is a nonprofit, but it's not a charitable organization or foundation, which would be a C3. The BBBs have a license agreement with the International Association of Better Business Bureaus, which is the headquarters. The headquarters is located outside of Washington, D.C. I used to work there. I worked there for about 30 years before I came down here to run the local BBB here in Southeast Florida. And the headquarters is designed to set up the programs and evaluation metrics for each of the Better Business Bureaus. So just like we go through a vetting process for businesses to obtain accreditation, our headquarters make sure that each Better Business Bureau is running the programs consistently and that we're doing a good job with them. And then they evaluate us on everything from our finances to our operational performance to our marketing visibility to there's 101 different things that they evaluate us on. So it's a pretty in-depth analysis that's done every year. Each of the Better Business Bureaus also has a local board of directors. So our local board actually is my boss, and so they are business folks like yourself. They are accredited business leaders from Southeast Florida and the Caribbean. We have a representative from Puerto Rico. We have a very diverse group in terms of the geographic coverage, so all the way from Vero Beach down to the southern part of Miami-Dade. I don't currently have anybody yet in the Keys, but I will be working on that. They also represent a lot of different industries. So we have roofers and swimming pool contractors, AC contractors, we have marketing companies, we have insurance companies, pretty much all of the major industries in Southeast Florida are represented. And if it's something that you're interested in board service, you can reach out and contact me. You'll get my contact information later. You will be getting a ballot from the nominating committee. It will go out in probably a week or 2 weeks with the list of current candidates. And so you actually vote on the people that will be filling the seats on the board. So we hope you'll indicate those that you think will do the best job in setting the strategic vision for us here locally. And really our goal is to promote marketplace trust. And so we do that through capturing information about the businesses, what they do, how they do it, are they properly licensed, do they have the right insurance, who are the business principals, have they been in trouble in the past, have they opened up and closed businesses as a way to try and get beyond a not so great reputation. All of that information goes into the business profile. With the accredited businesses, you also have a chance to add a lot of other important things to your profile, videos, photos, information about the types of services that you all provide. And so William and the team will work with you on that. And I went through most of the profiles of the businesses that are on today. Quite a few of you have added that information onto your profiles. I certainly encourage you to do that. William will walk you through that in a little bit after we get through the intro here. So let's go to the next slide, William. One of the things that is really important is your brand reputation. And so there's always studies being done. What's important? What do consumers look at? And this was one that was done just this past year, and it looked at what's the most important item for consumers when they're evaluating a business. And the number one thing, according to consumers, was an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. So that came out at 27.6%. The other thing is your Google ratings. And so we at BBB believe that one of the things we can do is help you obviously do well in both of those. We are a Grow with Google partner, and so if you're a small business and you're not sure how to navigate Google, our team can help you do that. There are also a lot of good digital marketing companies that are accredited businesses that can help you with that. And when it comes to your BBB rating, obviously the thing that you need to do there is take care of your customers. The biggest part of a rating is determined by the number of complaints you have relative to the size of your business, how quickly and how well you review, respond, and in most cases, hopefully resolve those complaints. And then also making sure that your advertising is fair and honest, that you don't have any government actions, that you're properly licensed. All of those things go into creating that BBB rating. And in order to be an accredited business, you have to maintain at least a B or better rating. We don't like to even take businesses that are at a B because we don't want to have to revoke them if they get additional complaints and drop below that B level. So we try to make sure that the businesses that are coming through and are getting accredited are in the A range, because that way it's less problematic for them if they do get some additional complaints. So we'll work with you on those things. Our team is here to assist you. If you ever have any questions on your rating, we can talk to you about that. You'll get a notification every time your rating changes, and on that will be the name and contact person to talk to if indeed that should happen. Hopefully, if it does change, it goes up and not down, but if it does go down, we'll talk to you about what steps you can take to improve that. Next slide, William. Just a little bit of background on the scope of what the Better Business Bureau does here. These numbers are just for our Better Business Bureau, and we're one of the larger BBBs in the Confederation. We share about 7.2 million business profiles every year. So what that means is that consumers are checking 7.2 million reports on businesses to decide, should I hire them, should I buy from them, what do other people in my community think about them. That comes out to about 21,000 reports a day that are being checked, and that's why it's really important to keep your profile, your business profile with BBB up to date, current, and with a good rating and with good reviews. And we'll talk to you about how to generate reviews and give you some tools to do that as well. In addition to that, there are about 5.3 million unique visitors. So obviously each visitor isn't just checking one report, sometimes they check multiple. So, but we get over 5 million consumers who come to our local website every year. We get about 26,000 requested quotes, or what we call get a quotes, where they come in and they say, gee, Freedom Roofers, can you give me a quote to replace my tile roof? It's this number of square feet. They can either do that individually, or they can do that to get from a number of providers. So they can either identify getting a quote from a specific business, or say, I'd like to get 3 quotes, and then the system will find 3 businesses that are accredited that are in their area. So that's only available to accredited businesses. And we're constantly working to drive that number up because we want consumers to find trustworthy businesses. And since that only works for accredited businesses, you know, that's a good way to connect consumers to you. In addition to that, we process about 22,000 customer reviews a year. That was last year. This year we're doing many, many more, and so we're up to about 40,000 customer reviews this year. That's an area that has been growing. With both complaints and reviews, nothing is posted until you are notified about the complaint or the review, because we go through a validation process and want to make sure that if somebody is leaving a complaint or leaving a review, that it's a valid customer. So we ask you to look at that, and if you're not familiar with that customer, just use the link to get back to us, and we will ask for documentation from that customer to validate that they did have a marketplace experience with your business. And then only if we're able to substantiate it will that be posted as a complaint or as a review. Don't try to get rid of negative complaints by saying they're not your customer if they really were, because they will provide that information. The best thing to do in those situations is to help us understand what happened with that customer from your perspective. If you made a mistake, what you're going to do to address it. If you have information that shows the customer is being unreasonable, obviously sharing that with us. And the BBB will look at complaints and make a determination as to whether or not the business has lived up to their obligations as a BBB accredited business. So you don't always have to satisfy the customer in order for a complaint not to count negatively against you. If you show that you did what you said you were going to do and what you had agreed to do with the customer, the BBB will close those complaints as answered complaints. So in addition to that, the BBB does a lot of reviews of advertising in the marketplace. We want to make sure that the advertising is fair and honest. And we do investigations when we see problematic things that are going on in the marketplace. As you can probably guess, over the last year with COVID, the number of complaints for online retail has gone through the roof. And so we've gotten a lot of complaints in that area, unfortunately. And it's a lot of fly-by-night businesses who just put up a website, try to sell something a consumer needs, whether it's hand sanitizer or face masks or whatever it might be. We had a lot of businesses trying to take advantage of COVID that were not really businesses, that were just there to take money. So we try to investigate those, shine a light on those, and make sure consumers know how to tell a trustworthy business from those that they can't. Next slide, William. So what is BBB accreditation? You've all gone through it. What we do is we look at the history of the business, we look at what the business does, we look at the licensing of the business, who the owners are, what the online reputation of the business is. We also look at the complaint history with BBB. We look at the advertising, we look at the website, we make sure that if you have a privacy policy for how you're going to handle a customer's data, that you explain that to them and that you live up to that. And also, if you are transacting commerce online or taking personally identifiable information, that you're doing so in a secure way. So we look at all of those things to get a sense of, is this a business who meets those standards? And then if you do meet those standards, it is submitted to me after it's reviewed by our standards and compliance team. If I'm satisfied with that, then I submit it to the board. And ultimately, the board of directors, which is our local business leaders, make the final determination on accreditation. So it is a jury of your peers. It's business leaders who look at a business and the information that we've gathered and say, yes, they are deserving of accreditation, or no, they are not. If a business is denied accreditation, or if it is revoked for any reason, they can appeal that determination to the board, and then there is a mini hearing set up to handle those issues. Doesn't happen a lot, and certainly if a business is taking care of their customers, you really don't have much to worry about. But we do encourage you to be proactive in working with your customers, and when problems do come up, work with us to try and get those resolved. Next slide. Okay, this is the area where we will talk about some of the different things that are on your business profile. In the upper left, you see the logo. Only accredited businesses are able to put their logo on their business profile. You also see on the bottom, or on the middle right, customer reviews. So we will work with you to give you the tools to engage your customers and ask them to leave reviews. I looked through, again, a lot of the different business profiles and websites. A lot of you are doing a really good job with reviews on Google. I encourage you to keep doing that. Some of you haven't really started on that, and again, we can work with you to give you some tools to facilitate that. The other things that are really helpful for a consumer, when I'm thinking about hiring somebody, I like to know a little bit about the business. So make sure your website tells the customer a little bit about you, because a lot of them will click from your business profile here over to your website. And it's also good, I think, on these websites to have either videos that talk about your business. These are not promotional videos, but just videos that tell the customer your philosophy, what your approach is with customers, and also can show some of your work. If you're a general contractor, a remodeler, a roofer, they may want to get a sense of the type of work that you do to see if it looks like something that they're interested in. So we'll work with you to get those photos and videos put on your BBB profile. Next page, will you? And the use of the logo is really important. So I looked again, and many of you have already put this on your websites, which is great. It's a way for consumers and businesses, if you're in the B2B space, to know that you have gone through that vetting process, that you have been approved as an accredited business, and that you're a trustworthy business committed to doing the right thing. And especially if, we talked to a couple people who market outside of the area, maybe they don't know you. The BBB logo has a very high name recognition, and it can help consumers understand that you're not a fly-by-night business, that you're one that can be trusted. So you can put that into your broadcast advertising, both print and broadcast. You can put it in Yellow Pages or other directories, on business cards, on your websites. JM Lexus, for example, always puts the logo on their local advertising. So a lot of the local accredited businesses, when they do TV spots, will include it on there. If you have any questions on how you can use it, where you can use it, William will be showing you where to get the logo, and then we can work with you to help you get that out there to reach more customers, and again, show them that you can be trusted as a business. Next slide. The complaint response, we touched a little bit on this, both with complaints and reviews. Read each complaint, provide documentation to show your position, include as much objective information as possible. The contract, sometimes consumers will say that they didn't get the sign off on the job after it was done from the permitting office. If you've got that, obviously that's really helpful. Always be positive and professional, and then meet the time requirements for submission. And then just call us if you have any questions. You will always get a person's name and email with the complaints, and usually you'll work with the same person in our office because they work on accredited businesses and in certain industry sectors. So they're familiar with you and your business. And hopefully we won't be too familiar, because we don't want to get a lot of complaints, and most of you do a great job and we won't have to worry about that. But this is a little bit of information about that. We do ask that you get the first response back within 10 business days. So the consumers aren't waiting too long, and the quicker we get back, usually the easier it is to resolve those issues. Next slide, William. And reviews are the same thing. So you can ask customers to provide reviews. We give you some tools to do that. The BBB staff can help you figure out how to use those, read each review. We go through, we're just like you guys in a lot of ways. We're a small business. And so, we get reviews on Google and Yelp and other places too. And so we have a tool that we use to pull all those into one location. We respond to them. We have a certain voice and tone that we try to use, which is friendly and professional and helpful. And so we're always trying to make sure that we're living up to that when we're working with them. And then again, meet all the time requirements. And if you have any questions, just feel free to ask us about that. So I think that's it, right, William?
Yes, last slide. So
Okay.
what I'll do now is go into the BBB Accounts Help Center and just kind of do a live preview,
Yeah, this is the area that you'll go to most often.
I'm going to bring up our board member page. Share this. Okay, so what we're on now is the BBB Accounts Help Center dashboard, the main dashboard. So once you log into BBB Accounts, and the majority of the businesses, especially on the line here, have been sent your verification emails. If for any reason anyone has not gotten that, at this stage, please reach out to me directly, and I'll make sure you're set up. But essentially, you'll use, your primary email address. You'll create a password of your choosing, and then once you're in, you can see. Again, you have your company logo on the top left as an overview. The profile does show you like a completion ring, so have closed the ring to get up to 100%. If there were some areas where you didn't have updated, for example, business hours, or you didn't have your company logo or your area served, you can come into here and upload that. One thing I will point out is that any information that you do submit in this portal gets vetted, so you won't see it right away. But generally 24 hours to 48, the team that vets this will approve it. If there's anything that you want to submit that you're unsure of course, you can reach out to me, myself, or my team, and we'll, of course, give you some insight. But specifically, while we're here in the portal, there are some tools that are available to you directly. Under the Accreditation tab, you have access to our Accredited Business Guide. These is sent to you in your welcome packet once it's physically mailed to you. But if you want to look at an online version of it, it's here for your reference. We do update this with some changes that we might have coming up. So most likely any sort of permanent, accredited business benefits, you'll find it within this packet along with contact information. But jumping back into the portal here, this is also a place where you can come to update your Get a Quote contact information. So in the event that you don't want to have a certain email that receives Get a Quote, or you want to go to a certain phone number, you can come into this portal to update it under the Get a Quote contact options. Regarding the BBB Accredited Business Seals and Logos, this is where you'll get this. So of course, it's available for web and for print options. I'll start with print just because it's a little bit easier. You have several logo variations that are available to you. Just by clicking on the file format that you need, you can download it. And again, as Rod mentioned, you can use it on your business cards, use it in your proposals, use it in your advertising, wherever you see fit to kind of advertise your business. You can use your Accredited Business seal in those areas. And then there's a special seal for any of the yellow pages if you have your business listing there. Regarding your company profile, specifically making any changes. Now, in your company profile, there's a direct link here, and Rod showed it in our during the presentation here, but this is just like a live view of it. There's been a little bit changes to the website, so the placement of things are a little bit moved around, but you still get the general information here, whether it's showing a physical address, phone number, email, which is not visible as you can see, so you won't have to worry about being phished. We do have like a private protocol where they click complete information, and this is information sent to your selected email as a private message, and I'll obviously access to your website and social media under the business details category. Let me jump back because I realized I didn't go over the dynamic seal for web. There is a little terms of use, so you have to agree to that. And what that says is that you won't make any edits to the code and use it as is within your BBB accreditation standards. With the seal, it's a little bit technical, so maybe your IT personnel would be better fitted to walk through this process with you. Otherwise, you can schedule a meeting with me and I can kind of walk you through the steps of getting to this page. But basically, you'll be presented with the various options for the dynamic seal. And there's a live preview, so any changes that you make, you'll immediately be able to see an update on it. And you can decide how you want the seal to look on your website. And once you've made your available selections, you'll just highlight and copy the HTML code. And again, it's embedded on the back end of your website. And as I said, if this is not something that you're used to making changes to your website, you'll just refer to your IT personnel. In rare cases, if you don't have anyone, again, we can schedule a meeting and I can attempt to assist you as best I can. Obviously, any changes to your BBB payments, whether it's making a payment or updating your payment information, that information is available right in the portal for your access. Any upcoming BBB events, they'll be visible here. You can do a quick link to view event, then you can register for said events. Obviously, any sort of BBB codes and protocols, whether, if you want to get an update on what is the code of advertising, what are privacy policies, that information is available for you with quick links to our BBB website. And then as far as BBB contacts, these are key contact personnel at BBB that would be suited for like your needs, for whether you want to get in contact with someone from marketing. Donna Dunn would be our director of advertising, so she would be perfect for that. Any sort of communication concerns, you can get in contact with our Cynthia Lavins, our VP of communication. So you'll see there's a plethora of people you can contact in reference to getting direct information. There is the Accredited Business Hotline, which ends in 9278. This kind of gives it more of a direct line than our primary number. So again, when you do have an issue, you want to get in contact with someone by phone or email, you have our information here.
And the three people that really you'll probably work with the most are going to be William, Harold, and Cliff.
Yeah, that's true.
Terrific trio. They're all great, and they can help you pretty much with anything that you can think about. Cynthia does a lot of our communications, and so we're constantly in the media doing stories, doing articles. So if you have an idea for an article that is educational or informative, we're certainly always wanting to get great content, and we love featuring our accredited businesses. So we hope that you will reach out to Cynthia or me if you have ideas or suggestions for that. We also do a lot of conferences. So in June of every year, we partner with SBDC and the Jim Moran Institute to do the Small Business Leadership Conference. It's in Orlando. And last year we featured, I think, 3 of our accredited businesses in workshops there. So those are really cool opportunities to get in front of businesses. And as COVID starts to wane and we start to get away from Zooming and go to meeting, we will get back out in public and do some more local events. And so we like to bring together businesses that can assist each other, partner together, and do both educational and networking events. So we'll be putting those out in the months ahead. We're still waiting for the COVID rates to go down a little bit more before we start fully engaging. But under that event section, you'll be able to see those. And then we also push those out through our newsletters. So make sure you're signed up to get those. And we do move them around. So we know we cover a big service area. So we do some in Martin County, some in Palm Beach County, some in Broward, some in Miami, and hopefully some. I'm working on one down in the Keys. So we definitely want to get into each of our important areas.
Excellent. Just going on with the overview that what's available in the dashboard here. Customer interaction is probably one of the categories that you might do a lot of, spend a lot of time, whether it's responding to reviews, in the event that you do have to respond to a complaint. That's available to you as well. What this initial section does is gives you a bit of an overview, but in order to actually do any sort of responding, you will have to click on whatever section, just hit the view all section. And what that does is launches what's called the customer experience manager. So, oh wait, you know what? They've made a little bit of an update. So
Yeah.
what they've done now is they kind of give you more information at a glance. So you don't have to jump right into the experience manager. So once you, for example, customer reviews, oh wait, here it is. And this gives you that full in-depth view where you can respond to complaints and customer reviews at a glance versus having to, you know, find the email that you initially sent and try to kind of track it down. This gives you an all-in-one view, which is just available, much more convenient than you know, that kind of process. I'll even address the B2B platform. I know some businesses do, you know, market or do business with other businesses. So the B2B platform is still available. It's a great tool because what it does is allows you to interact with other accredited businesses in the area that have, you know, decided to become accredited and, you know, show their trust. Other than that, as far as adding the brand store, that's if you should do any sort of additional logos or you need to order anything, whether it's bumper stickers, additional decals, etc. And then as far as anyone that is already have access to, you can add additional users. We felt it was more important to have multiple points of access than just one login as it was in our old system. So at this rate, you can go in and add any additional email. It does not get pushed to your business profile. So, you know, just because you add additional user, it's not going to give anyone access to anything that they shouldn't have. For example, if you have like an IT person, they would need access to this in order to go on and get the seal or logo. It's something to think about. So this is just a kind of like an overview of what is available in the BBB accounts dashboard. We do hope that if you aren't using it, that you do start peek around in. I'll even point out here on the bottom right corner, we do have live chat available. We started that about maybe, I guess, 2 years now. And obviously, just enter your name, a question, and one of our staff, we do have it from, I believe it was 9 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. So again, if you want to get a quick response using live chat, obviously email and phone calls are still available to you as well.
Yeah, and the live chat is you know, sometimes I get in there and I'm not sure exactly where to go to get something, and you're trying to figure that out. Then it gives you the ability to ask William or Cliff or Harold or Gus or whoever's on there, you know, where do I get this information? Is this available? What information do you have about the upcoming events? And so it's a great shortcut for you.
Mm-hmm. Rod, so back to you. If you.
Okay, William, can you go to the Torch Awards, just on the main page?
Well, I don't think the site. No, it turned out being on Epi.
Oh, okay. Well, one of the other things
I'm working on it.
Yeah, one of the other things that I want you all to think about is every year we do an ethics business award, and it's called the BBB Torch Awards for Ethics. And the event takes place, this year it was in July because of COVID. It was moved back a little bit. Next year it'll be in May, and hopefully it will be back and in person. And that's an opportunity for businesses to get a lot of visibility for being an ethical business that has a mission statement that's established by the business leadership, that is integrated into the business through your employees, that extends out to your customers, and then also you engage the community as well, and in a way that is beneficial to the community. And so the Torch Awards really looks at that. We have a panel of judges, and there are 3 different categories based on size of the business, so that we are able to not have, you know, smaller businesses having to compete against some large businesses that have a lot more resources. And we do that once a year, and then the winners from our local event actually have the opportunity to then compete in the international awards. And we were fortunate this year in that one of our local winners not only obviously won the local award, but they won the international award. And that's going to be announced with the press release on the 25th of October. And there will be an event on November the 12th where they receive that international award. Obviously, that's a way to get a lot of recognition for your business for doing the right thing. We selfishly, we've only been doing this since I got down here about 5 years ago. Before that, the BBB didn't provide that, and we think it's really important to be able to recognize businesses for doing good things with their customers in the community, and this gives us a chance to do that. So I'll encourage you to look at the information that's on our main website. As William says, we're transitioning over from an older version to a newer version, but it'll be up there within the next week or two. And we'll be sharing the press release about the international winner with all of our local accredited businesses, and hopefully getting that picked up in the local media. And so we're really excited about that. You know, our goal is to build trust in the marketplace, and so we do that by calling out some of the bad players when they're doing bad things that are hurting the reputation of an industry. But we also want to, you know, highlight the businesses that are doing great things, and the Torch Awards is an opportunity for us to do that. So think about that, take a look at that. We'll make sure to send out a link to everybody that's on the call today once that page is up and running, so you can take a look at it. And we'll also be sharing, William can share a link to that business portal, because I know it's sometimes hard to figure out where it is.